Well, energy, water, you name it, is all the talk these days. And so join us on the newsline is a good friend, Jeff Harrison. Jeff is the president of Citizens Energy, Citizens Water, Citizens Gas, Citizens. Or I'll just call it. I can't remember what you guys are calling yourselves these days, but no, I know when my wife gets the bill, she uses a lot of choice words, but I think it's more about my water usage than you guys. So, Jeff, thank you, my friend, for joining us today. We do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me here, Abdul. I very much appreciate it as well.
So help us out here, just for our audience who may not be familiar. What exactly does Citizens do?
Yeah, so just a little bit about Citizens Energy Group, and I'll start with who we are, but also include who we are. Start with who we are not. So Citizens is not the Department of Public Works. We don't repair potholes or collect trash. We are also not AES Indiana, so we do not provide electric services. And we aren't the various other utility companies installing telephone wires, internet, or cable either. But we are a public charitable trust here in the central part of the state. And that means that we are established here to provide critical utility infrastructure services to our customers, and that is our North Star. Here in the state of Indiana, Citizens Energy Group operates the largest contiguous water utility in the state, the largest wastewater utility in the state, the third largest natural gas system, and the second largest steam system in the country, behind Consolidated Edison out of New York. Or that's the largest steam, second largest steam system.
Now, are you guys owned by the public, or who actually owns Citizens?
Yeah, no, we are not owned by the public. The assets are held in trust to benefit those in the Indianapolis community. So while again there's no direct ownership, the benefits from these assets do inure to the residents of the city of Indianapolis. And our board ensures that benefits and the operations of the assets remain aligned with that goal. So we have a 9-member board of directors that we interact with on a regular basis to operate these assets, and then we have a 5-member board of trustees that selects those board members.
No, no, because obviously there's been a little bit of confusion with your friends down Meridian Street, friends at AES. Just been their sort of parent company has been purchased, and that's caused a bunch of consternation. And so I know people were kind of wondering sort of the same things, like, hey, is what happened to AES going to happen to Citizens?
Yeah, no, that is not the intent. The assets were placed in trust very specifically to prevent any kind of takeover or acquisition by another entity. And as long as we're providing, again, I think this service and stewarding these assets properly, these assets will stay locally owned and operated by Citizens Energy Group. In fact, we're so focused on the local aspect here that members of the board of directors and members of the board of trustees must live in the city of Indianapolis to be considered candidates as board members here at Citizens Energy Group. So a very local focus here, and not that there's anything wrong with board members that are outside of the city, but these assets in this organization was structured such that there was a very local focus with respect to its operation and maintenance.
Our guest on the program today is Jeffrey Harrison. Jeffrey is the president of Citizens Gas, Citizens Utility. Those are the gas people, the water people, and to some grades, the sewer storm water people as well. So, Jeff, we appreciate you being on the program today. Let's walk us through one of the big issues right now is, of course, lead districts and water usage. What role does citizens play in that discussion, that debate?
Yeah, so I think if we talk about the LEAP district, there's a need for both energy and water to that district. Citizens Energy Group and through our water utility will provide up to 25. The unit of measure in water is millions of gallons per day. or MGD. And Citizens will provide up to 25 MGDs to Lebanon utilities at a wholesale on the wholesale level. So we'll transmit 25 MGD to Lebanon. That amount will be phased in through 2031. And so from there, from Lebanon Utilities will then retail water service to the LEAP district. They'll sell water at the retail level to their customers. That the two that I know of now are Eli Lilly and Company and Meta. And this is an amazing project. We think it'll spur again economic development. I think it makes the central part of the state stronger from an economic standpoint as well. And so we look forward to this relationship with Lebanon, the city of Lebanon Utilities, and ultimately again that water going to the LEAP district. One of the things that we were focused on is making sure that our existing customers did not pay for the infrastructure required to supply this amount of water to Lebanon Utilities, and so we were able to work that out. And I think again, this is going to be a great project for the central part of the state.
Now, one of the things, obviously, in this discussion, as we talk about water usage, LEAP districts, a lot of folks may say, "I live downstream. Am I going to turn on my tap water, or turn on the faucet, or turn on the shower and no water because it's all going north?"
Yeah, no, and that won't happen. So Citizens Energy Group, again, and since we're talking about Citizens and the subsidiary there is Citizens Water, one of the things we will look at and we pay specific attention to is our water supply planning. And we started this some time ago. So we acquired the water utility assets in 2011, and then in 2012 we had a drought. And so there were some positives and negatives to that drought. But one of the positives is we really started thinking long term about water supply. And today, long term for us means that we have a 50-year water supply plan. So we're looking out 50 years into the future, and that includes growth. So every element of the utility for the water utility, everyone that's under that water utility, we include their current demand and we include their future demand. So we're putting a growth rate factor on that, including our wholesale customers. And we talked about Lebanon Utilities. Lebanon Utilities will be our ninth wholesale customer. So we wholesale water to other communities and have been doing so for quite some time. But this water management process, this water supply management process, is one that would helps us to allay the fears of our customers that feel someday they might turn on their faucet and nothing would come out. So that's something that we desperately try to prevent. And again, our long-term water supply plan, our 50-year water supply plan, helps us mitigate that potential future. And that plan is updated each and every single year. So we're confident that we've got enough water.
Our guest in the program today, Jeffrey Harrison. Jeffrey Harrison, the president of Citizens Utilities. Those are gas, water people, sewer people, you name it. Jeff, on that issue of our water supply, how is our water supply in central Indiana and for that matter, in the state of Indiana? Because I'm assuming you folks talk to other utilities and the whole nine yards and communicate with each other on issues and water issues and things that may have popped up.
Yeah, so I think if you look at the state of Indiana, on par has enough water. There are spots where water is not prevalent, but on par, as we look at the state, we're pretty water rich. As you look at the top portion of the state, water there is very prevalent. As we move towards the center of the state, we're pretty good here as well. We have a number of streams, what we call surface water sources that we use. And then as you move south, water gets a little more scarce, but still there's water there. And then as you move towards the southern part of the state near the Ohio River, again, water becomes plentiful because the Ohio River. But here in the central part of the state, we have access to rivers and streams, and so we have about 75% of our water comes from what we call surface water, those rivers and streams here in the central part of the state. And then we also then the other 25% of our source water comes from underground wells. And so we use those two sources, the 75% surface water, and by the way, those surface water streams also have reservoirs associated with them. And so we just constructed the Citizens Reservoir located at 116th and Oleo Road. And I think that was complete in 2021. And first reservoir built in the community in about 50 years. And that reservoir, Citizens Reservoir, holds about half of the water in Geist. So Citizens Reservoir holds over 3 billion gallons of water. Geist is a little over 6 billion gallons of water. And so we have really good sources of water here in the central part of the state. I'd say again, we've got a lot of access to water resources here and will for quite some time.
I got to ask you about Eagle Creek because that's my neighborhood.
Yes.
How we doing here in the Eagle Creek part of Indianapolis?
Yeah, Eagle Creek is a great, but my former neighborhood, as I lived on the west side for many years, near Eagle Creek, and we're doing well. There's concern by I believe many in the around the reservoir there, and I believe that there are concerns that we will drain the reservoir and or B, the reservoir will become polluted with raw sewage in the reservoir. And on the first concern, we're trying to help community members understand that Citizens Reservoir. I'm sorry, Eagle Creek Reservoir, Citizens Reservoir, Morse Reservoir, Geist Reservoir. These are critical assets for Citizens Water, our water utility, critical assets. And so, as critical assets, their sustainability, their health of these assets is paramount to citizens. We have to keep these assets healthy, and we have been. So we monitor the health of those assets. Eagle Creek, in particular, is used for two purposes. One, it's a reservoir, and then two, it's used for flood control. The city of Indianapolis owns Eagle Creek Reservoir, but Citizens Energy Group, through Citizens Water, operates Eagle Creek Reservoir. And so we also at Citizens are a very sustainably minded institution. And so we also care about the ecology around the reservoir. And so we will lower the water levels to reveal mudflats for migrating birds.
And the otters are back.
And the otters are coming back. So we pay attention to the ecological system around the reservoirs and make sure that we maintain those systems and their integrity. And so, we're trying to help the community understand that we've done this now. We've owned these assets for 15 years, and we've done this for quite some time. Very experienced operators of these assets. Nothing by and large will change as we move forward in time, but I believe that the community thinks that many things will change. So we're out meeting with anyone who wants to learn more about how we operate the assets and wants to learn more about how critically sustainable these assets are and why we would never do anything to harm the assets. On the wastewater side, the same thing. There's concern that raw sewage would somehow be allowed to enter Eagle Creek, and that is not true either. Even today, even before we complete our Citizens Lebanon water supply project, there are outfalls, wastewater outfalls from wastewater treatment plants that are contributing to the water in Eagle Creek today. It's just what happens around the country. Our outfall here at Citizens Energy Group on the south side of the city flows down and contributes to another community in their intakes. And so that's a process that happens every day. It's happened for numerous decades, in terms of years. And so if there's a project here at Citizens or at Lebanon Utilities, when they beef up and bulk up their wastewater treatment plant, that will happen again. But what happens is these wastewater treatment plants have significant and high standards in terms of their discharges, and so that will take place, and that means that water is very, very clean. It's not potable water, but very clean. And in general terms, the water coming out of wastewater treatment plants in general is typically cleaner than the body of water that it's entering. And so we're out in
And
the community helping communities understand these tenets.
And that's an interesting point. I thought I was interested when you brought up the Lawrence Chamber event when we ran into each other last week. That the water, that the untreated, the treated, the wastewater that you guys treat is actually cleaner than the original water that it came from.
Well, it's cleaner than this instance. The treated wastewater that would be leaving the Lebanon Utilities wastewater treatment plant is likely going to, in general, is going to be cleaner than the body of water that it is being discharged into. Now, again, it is not potable water, because that water, the water that we will then pull from Eagle Creek, goes through our water treatment process. And so that water then will be cleaned up again, but this time it'll be cleaned up to potable drinking water standards.
Jeffrey Harrison with us on the program today. Jeffrey is the head of Citizens Gas, Citizens Utilities. So we're talking about utilities with all the discussions and everything going on here in the state of Indiana these days. Jeff, data centers. Obviously, data centers are a big topic here in Indiana. Data centers require lots of water to keep them cool. There was talk about a data center here in Pike Township for a while. That idea went away. How does Citizens fit into the data center discussion, particularly in that central Indiana area?
Yeah, so Citizens plays, I think, a significant role. If they're in central Indiana, they'll likely receive water from Citizens Energy Group through Citizens Water. And we would like to be in the room at the very early stages of discussions around the location of these data centers, because again, we can help. We want to be able to plan, and we can help plan for the location. That is, again, in coordination with the community. Many of the communities around central Indiana have questions about the data centers, and so we'll work with the community. We'll work with data centers to locate here. And their water demand today can be significant. It can be significant, and so we would like to understand those water demands, and then include those demands in our planning process that I talked about earlier. But Citizens is open to anyone that wants to locate here. However, what we've said is that for large loads like data centers, our customers will be protected. Our existing customers will be protected from that growth. And so, if a large data center wants to locate here in the central part of the state, we would welcome them. However, we would also ask them to pay for the incremental cost to supply 100% of the water demand that they are requesting, such that we insulate our existing customers from any rate increases due to these data centers and their significant water load.
Jeffrey Harrison with us, Citizens Gas on the program today. Jeff, obviously, when we talk about data centers, they cause a lot of controversy. As I jokingly tell people, everybody wants the data, but nobody wants the data center to go along with it. And as we're on our phones, looking at our pictures and wasting very valuable, precious time. When you look at the data center discussion, particularly the water usage, I want to say there was some technology or part of the data center discussion was basically the data center would sort of recycle water to keep their systems cool. That's some part of the discussion you folks have had with Citizens with some of the data center folks.
There have been some discussions, and again, I think the technology technology is doing what it does, and that's is that it evolves. And so in this instance, that's right. My understanding is there's a closed loop system that can be used by the data centers to cool their computer systems instead of and that closed loop system uses much less water than a non-closed loop system. And so I think as these technologies and these data centers evolve and continue to grow and proliferate, there will be technological innovations that allow these data centers to become more efficient with their use of water, which I think is great. Water is a incredible and significant natural resource. There's only so much of it on the planet, and so being able to conserve it in any form is a good idea. And to the extent these data centers can use these closed loop systems and reduce the amount of water that is used at Citizens, we think that's a great thing.
Jeff, as we get ready to sort of wind down our conversation here, let's talk about water costs and inflation, because obviously inflation hits all of us. Rising gas prices because of the situation in the Middle East. Not only does it hit us at the fuel pump, but also industrial use as well. How has inflation impacted the job function at Citizens, and how do you sort of balance that? You know, we have rising costs. We want to make sure energy is reasonable and affordable for our customers.
Yes, that's something that we focus on every single day here at Citizens Energy Group. And I think, Abdul, you are aware that for water, for wastewater, and for natural gas, we provide those services here in the central part of the state, here in Indianapolis, at cost to our customers. So there's no markup there. And when we look at our costs, we try to make sure that we maintain a very strong cost reduction mentality here. However, as you state, there are upward pressures on our cost structure. Chemicals, for example, is one category of our costs. We use an incredible amount of chemicals to help make sure our water is clean and healthy to drink. But those chemical costs have gone up significantly here over the past few years. But again, there have been technological innovations as well that have helped drive costs down. And so we try to balance those two, the cost increases with some cost decreases, to make sure that, as I stated earlier, our customers here in the central part of the state receive utility services at a reasonable cost. And again, as I stated, we spend every day trying to understand how we can reduce costs, maintain our costs for our customers. Another pressure that is put on the utility are capital costs. Our infrastructure is very old and needs repair quite often, and so we spend a lot of time, energy, and effort making sure that the infrastructure is as strong as it needs to be, as reliable as it needs to be. And our focus there is quite simply safe, affordable, and reliable energy services to our customers.
And I think it's interesting too, because I remember back in 2010, 2011, when you guys were doing when the city sold Citizens Gas, and or at least did that sort of transfer control. I remember the big conversation, the big fight. Then I remember the big discussion about the Deep Rock Tunnel
Yes.
and the whole 9 yards. So I suppose my question is, how do you folks or sort of deal with the I want to say misinformation, because it's not necessarily misinformation, but a lot of folks are very particular about their water sources, about their utilities. How do you communicate with the public to say, hey, we understand your concerns, but let's all just step off the accelerator just a little bit. Let's sort of walk through this.
Yeah, we do that in a number of ways through advertising, commercials, and then we're now, for example, on Eagle Creek, we are meeting very specifically and very directly with the public at neighborhood meetings. We're out in the community. We've also stood up in the Pike Township Public Library what we called open hours, where staff was available to meet with the public to answer specific questions in smaller, more intimate settings, but convey those very facts to the community. Just going back on Dig Indy, when you talked about the transfer of the assets from the water utility and wastewater utility from the city of Indianapolis to Citizens Energy Group, we took on a large project, which was the Dig Indy project, as you spoke about earlier. That was a $2.4 billion project that spanned over 14 years. We just completed that project back in December of 2025, and we completed that project on time. And again, as I spoke, when we started, the price estimate was around 2.4 billion. We completed that project about $400 million under budget. So saving our customers about $400 million. It's hard to talk to customers about the savings and the rates that they don't have to pay, but in saving $400 million, that's $400 million that did not go into a rate increase to our customers, and so we're pretty proud of those savings and the protection to our customers. But again, an incredible project completed on time, under budget, the right way, and it's working. Recall again that project is preventing raw sewage from entering rivers and streams, and it's doing its job. We'll continue to monitor that project here in the upcoming years to make sure that it continues to prevent raw sewage from entering rivers and streams. But as of today, that project is working very well. So just all around great for the community here in Central Indiana.
Jeff, final question for you. In the 60 seconds that we got left, what would you want the public to know about Citizens Utilities?
Yeah, I think our common message here is that we're here to provide benefits to our customers and to those who live in our community. That comes in the form of our utility services that where we strive to provide safe, reliable, and affordable utility services. We provide service at cost. If there are any problems or questions, please give us a call so that we can work with you to resolve any issues. But we're proud of our community. All of our employees, from top to bottom, are excited every day to provide services and in our community and to help support our community. A lot of volunteer effort and work goes into supporting the community as well.
All right. Well, Jeff, on the program today has been our good friend Jeffrey Harrison, the head of Citizens Utilities. Jeff, my friend, as always, thank you very much for being with us. And give my best to your brother, Reverend Charles Harrison, by the way.
My cousin Charles,
Cousin.
I most certainly will.
You guys look alike, so I can't tell you apart sometimes. So
absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Abdul. Take care.
All right, we got it.
All right, excellent.
Hey, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Let's grab lunch sometime. Love to chat with you and pick your brain on a few things in the wonderful world of energy and the Braun administration. Well, that's another conversation for a whole nother time.
Absolutely. Would love to chat. Always open to chat.
All right. Hey, thank you, sir.
All right, Abdul, take care now.
Bye.
Bye.